All right, Sistas fans. Now, this video isn't meant to be like me complaining. Please don't get that impression. But I was just thinking about the 100th episode is this week and how maybe I wish they would have handled it. You know, I even put out a tweet earlier today. I was like, I wish the 100th episode of Sisters was a flashback episode. The girls could be, you know, in one of their sister circles, recounting things from their past, you know, how they met back in college, Andy's abusive boyfriend in college, what Sabrina, Danny, and Karen did to said boyfriend in terms of how to make it so he would leave Andy alone. When Andy met Gary, Karen meeting Zach, and the list goes on. I mean, the entire episode could have just been them sitting around reminiscing, and we would have moments where we would kind of flash back to the past. Those things would have definitely helped with building character, because we're coming up on episode 100, but in terms of the main characters, the sisters, I'm not talking about Zach, none of them have really changed since episode 1, and that's a problem if you ask me, because of the fact that these characters are stuck in the same rut. Andy with Gary, Karen with chasing Zach. I mean, the only difference really is that Zach was really the one chasing her in season 1 while she's moved on. Well, now it's kind of the reverse. Danny is, she had a good thing, but then ruined it. Sabrina is just kind of there, you know? I mean, I think this would have been the time to do a special episode, especially they're hyping up 100 episodes, which, if I'm not mistaken, we've never really seen a Tyler Perry show do that before. I don't think there was a, and look, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, because some people just, you know, you got to realize, I don't just do haves and have-nots itself, you know, anymore. So many shows I've been reviewing over the years that one person even said this is like, Jeremy, don't feel bad when you get something wrong, like when we're in season 4 and you misspeak or you forgot something that happened in season 1, because you probably remember more about these Tyler Perry shows. Or hang on, no. You probably forgot more about these Tyler Perry shows than most of us will ever remember in a lifetime. And that kind of stuck with me. But yeah, I just feel like I don't think there's ever been a haves and have-nots 100th episode special, or the 100th episode was like a big deal. Like it wasn't different. I mean, it was different than any standard episode, like something big happened, or, you know, it was a celebration. Will they do that for like the Oval and stuff? Honestly, I don't know, because those shows, like, I don't think there's going to be a House of Pain on BET 100th episode special, or Assisted Living. I don't see that. Or Bruh, I don't see that. Ruthless, I don't see that. The Oval, no, because none of those shows, to my knowledge, have the same stats as Sisters. The Oval has plummeted this season in ratings, and I don't think that it harbors a celebration the way Sisters does, because Sisters is like the haves and the have-nots, where it's like the #1 show on the network since it debuted. So there you go. But yeah, I think this 100th episode would have been a perfect opportunity to really flesh out the characters more, and it could have just been the sisters, you know, Calvin and Maurice, and we don't really need them for this episode. It could have been a great way to do what season 1 should have done a better job of doing, fleshing out the characters other than Andy. Because when you look at these characters now, and you look, I challenge you to watch maybe the first 2 or 3 episodes of the show, and then, like, you know, compare it to where we are now in the show. Nothing's really changed. Sure, Andy's in a different apartment now, but she's still the same Andy. All the things that's happened to her since episode 1, which you would think would make her more wise about the decisions she makes, the men she interacts with, no, she's still the same Andy. Karen, I don't need to say nothing about Karen. Danny, well, it seemed like, if nothing else, some of the men that the women interacted with were starting to make them change. But as soon as Tyler Perry noticed, it's like, nope, we got to go back to square one. He'll reset their characters at the beginning of each season in order to just keep the show going. So on the one hand, you know, I am happy that the show reached 100 episodes. But on another, I think for, you know, a lot of fans who have been clamoring for Tyler Perry to get other writers, mainly female writers, to help with writing a female-driven show, it's not going to happen. I mean, again, 100 episodes, #1 since the debut. It's a hit. Why would Tyler change the formula? I'm not saying he shouldn't change the formula, because in terms of improving the show in multiple ways that would make it better, I see it like, you know, if I were him, why would I do that? Why would I hire more writers, spend more money, changing Sistas, even if it's for a change for the better, when the way I do it, the show is #1. See what I mean? Anime example here, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, you know, they did some research, because, you know what, whenever a new Pokemon game is released in Japan or other countries, they do all these kind of promotional things like incentives. Hey, if you buy it from this store, you get like a, you know, an action figure. Or if you buy from this store, you get a plushie. If you buy from this store, you get like a steelbook casing. But in America, there's pretty bland, like you get a keychain or you get 200 Pokeballs. It's like, why? Why doesn't the US get any of the cool stuff that Japan does? And then the research shows, and the company said, well, because we know that in America, in the States, the game is going to do numbers. If I'm not mistaken, Scarlet and Violet are like the #1 Pokemon games in terms of sales. And they're right. Like, why would we waste money in marketing in a region where we know the game is going to do numbers? So I feel the same way about Tyler Perry's Sistas. Why would Tyler put more money into like writers and things like that to make the show better, help the characters develop, and tell more compelling stories, when the way he does it, the show is #1? So yeah, I want change, but it's unlikely to happen because it's a winning formula. So it sucks that that's the way it is, but gotta tip my hat. I mean, hell, it's #1, so you can't fault the man for that. Now, yeah, with the 100th episode, we really could use a origin story, because even if it's not the 100th episode, we still need that episode where the sisters came together. I mean, throughout the seasons, we've gotten little bits and, you know, tidbits and lines of dialogue of, oh, we met in school, or, you know, Andy acted this way, or Karen's always been like that, or, you know, hell, even in this last episode, episode 99, we finally get an idea of who Andy's mother is, when Karen's like, my mom's like, you know, overbearing and stuff. It's like, just like your mama. Well, you know, you got a point there. So that's it. I mean, there's a lot we could really do to flesh out these characters more. Maybe season 6. I highly doubt. I highly doubt it, but it would be cool. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you were the one to like direct and put the 100th episode together, what would you want to happen? And no, it can't be a Zatima wedding. That's its own show. They should have their wedding there. But then again, they might have 2, especially if it's like, well, if Zach hasn't proposed here in Sistas yet, then maybe he'll get married to Fatima at a different time. You know, all that complicated stuff. I think the 100th episode should be a culmination of what... Well, it's hard to do a culmination of how far the show's come since episode 1 when barely anybody's changed. So, yeah, we're just going to get Sabrina in jail and Danny thinking she killed somebody possibly, and, you know, Fatima, baby mama drama. That's it. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.